All right, so we're back at it. Topic 5. This is just about hydraulics and pneumatics. So again, this is not a insanely hard topic for you guys because we've talked about this previously. So hydraulic system, hydro meaning liquid, and then a pneumatic system, pneumatic like pneumonia. This is talking about gases. So these are two systems that operate, one using the force being distributed out by a liquid and one using the force being distributed out by compressed gas. Both very efficient at doing work. So this one here relies on the incompressibility of the liquid, the fact that it will not compress. This one, the pneumatic system, relies on the compressibility of the gas to be able to do the work that it needs to be able to do. So this one is a lift or an oil pipeline or a backhoe. Any of those things are using hydraulic systems. This one is an air compressor, is a pneumatic drill, a pneumatic like a air compressor powered whatever. A jack, or a jackhammer. All those things are pneumatically powered, where they have an airline coming in and applying pressurized air to move something, but it basically they end up being, I'm going to release small amounts of pressure over and over and over again. This one is the drill at your dentist's office. It uses high pressure gas to spin the drill to do the zzz thing with your teeth. So this is the jaws of life, and again they're hooking this up to a hydraulic system and they're using the power of the liquid to pry things apart or to use the teeth to bite through something. So hydraulic tools are very useful in that scenario. This is going to be a pretty short video. I'm not going through this. Pneumatics, I mentioned the jackhammer, so there's an air inlet and the air comes in and pushes through a valve, and that valve pushes the ram up, and once it does that, the thing reaches the top and flicks it over, and then the air will come in through this other side and push that ram back down over and over and over again very rapidly. So that is kind of how pneumatics work, and I'll put a video for you guys on pneumatics. And this is what your dentist drill is actually doing. There's a little fan blade basically, and the air is rushing past the fan blade back out through the other side, and that thing is spinning the little drill bit that is cutting out the bad stuff in your teeth. Hydraulics are used all over the place. Pneumatics, though, these guys, air-powered tools, anything and everything that's hooked up to an air compressor. My brother-in-law has a job where he uses high-pressure air and carbon dioxide, solid carbon dioxide, so dry ice, and he blasts dry ice at something, and he can clean a building that looked like this and make it look like this. This one was using sandblasting, which means they use a particulate, in this case, high silica sand, and that silica sand hits the surface and breaks off anything that's attached to the surface. And so there's different ways of doing this same job, but that is what they're doing, is they're breaking off the particles that are either causing it to be discolored or dirty, or causing it to like anything that needs to be cleaned. So that's what those things are doing, sandblasting or carbon dioxide blasting. This is using pneumatics, so you take a little pump in that robo boot and you fill up the little air pockets. One of my favorite stories, there was a prank call that was done when I was a teenager, and they used to have Reebok made pump shoes, as they had a little basketball on the tongue of the shoe, and you used to go and push it in, and the person called Foot Locker and said that he pumped his shoes up and the valve won't release, and that his shoes are so tight now that they're causing him to lose consciousness, and he's passing out. And so he prank called saying that he couldn't get the pressure to release. The end result was he took a circular saw, not really, and cut his shoe off of his foot. But it was a fairly funny prank call. Again, hydraulic systems at work. There is a hydraulic cushion here, or sorry, pneumatic cushion, an air cushion on the bottom that is holding that all in place. So that air is being pushed down to create the actual cushion of air that it's riding on. So that pressure is actually what's doing the work of lifting the hovercraft off the ground. And hydraulics, again, like I was saying, they are used in all sorts of industries. These backhoes, everything from the legs that support the backhoe to help it do its work, to the actual rams here that are using hydraulic pressure to be able to do the work there. All these things are using hydraulic pressure to do their work. And it is surprising how many places you will find this. You guys don't get from home to school without hydraulics because the brakes in your parents' car are running on hydraulic systems. So hydraulics are, again, every single place you go. Air travel, hydraulics are used to lift the flaps, to help the airplane steer and to change its elevation, takeoff and landing. They use these as brakes when they're trying to slow down when they land. All this stuff is operated by hydraulics. And so if a plane loses its hydraulics, it's in rather serious danger. So hydraulics and pneumatics are all over the place, and your body runs off of these things as well. I did the video earlier on, me and Mr. Dirksen did it, where we made, or we cut into that lung. That is a hydraulic, or a pneumatic system, sorry. It's exchanging gas by changing the pressure. And so it's doing that. And your heart is a pump. Your heart is actually pumping blood throughout your body. And again, you guys saw the actual practical thing. These valves are important parts in hydraulic and pneumatic systems because they force the blood to go in the direction that you want it to go in. You don't want your blood to be pumped back up into your atrium. If that happens, then you need to have your valve replaced, which is a relatively complicated surgery. So these guys are doing the work of pushing blood into your heart and then pushing it back out of your heart to go to the rest of your body or to your lungs to exchange gases. Pneumatics and hydraulics are all over the place, and they're used all the time to do work from keeping you alive to doing the work of any machinery that you're using, drilling your teeth out, all over the place, everywhere, all the time. Hydraulics and pneumatics using pressure to push gases or liquids. And again, just to really re-emphasize this, the important thing is we're talking about the incompressibility. So you can't compress a liquid. That's why hydraulics work the way they do. And then the pneumatics are using compressed gas. And it is the compressibility of the gas that makes them work the way they do. So that is hydraulics and pneumatics. That is chapter 5. I hope to see you guys in a little bit. See ya.